Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on how South Africa is still consistently the most violent country in Africa and one of the most violent countries on earth. Now, we heard Cyril Ramaphosa last night during his speech praise South Africa and how we have gotten on this new track, which is a lot of hogwash. He also thanked everybody and their mothers and their dogs. But ultimately, the facts don't care about your opinion of what is happening in South Africa. So Business Tech came out with a quite staggering article when you look at it, at what is really going on in South Africa. Let's have a look. Alright, so as you can see here, Business Tech, South Africa has worse criminality than African war zones. Let that sink in for a second. I'm not going to focus on how they managed to get the information, but I just want to focus on this graph that illustrates a picture that speaks 1,000 words. South Africa ranks second in criminality scores. The African Organized Crime Index 25 revealed that South Africa ranked second in criminality in Africa. Crime in the country was worse than in many war zones in Africa, including Sudan, Somalia, Mali, Niger, and the Central African Republic. And there you can see Congo is 7.47 and South Africa is 7.43. And then like they rightfully state, all these countries are currently in a war, and yet South Africa is still worse. I mean, look at these countries and the fact that we have always spoken strangely about other African countries and their problems, but yet look where we rank. I mean, we always rank at the top for the worst things around the world. I find it fascinating that our president can go and make a State of the Nation address in which he talks about the G20, but then he blatantly lies to South Africans to their faces and also to the rest of the world. The irony, of course, is that anybody with an internet connection can verify whether what the president is saying is correct or not. And ultimately, if you just look at the stats that was just provided, you can see that South Africa is worse off than a war zone. Let that sink in. We all have a picture of war in our minds. And in South Africa, there is no war. There is policing and there is the criminality aspect, and clearly the criminals are winning and the government is just not improving the police force and employing more people. We've got a major issue in this country, two big issues. We've got unemployment and we've got crime. You can solve both of them by employing more police officers, quality police officers, but with the millions of South Africans that are out there, and let's say 200,000 or 300,000 potential new SAPS jobs, well, it should be 1 million, but let's just argue, you can get qualified people for that. There are a lot of young people out there that want a job, that is begging for a job. And here's a great opportunity. But yet, year after year, the SAPS is one of the worst funded from the entire government. I would actually like to know what the salary rate is, or the total for the government versus how much money they pay the SAPS. I think that'll be fascinating to see what the amount of money for that is. But ultimately, we conclude this video by talking about how the president goes on and addresses the nation, talks about how wonderful this country is, how Ubuntu is, the theme in this nation. But, if you look broader, if you look at the crime rate, if you look at how many people are killing one another every single day in this country, the sexual crimes, the gender-based violence, a sexual assault, all of these crimes add up and just shows that we are worse off than war zones, where people are actively fighting in the streets, yet we kill more people, or more people are killed in this country than there. And then the president has the audacity to tell us that everything is fine in this country. Oh, and that people are fear-mongering and spreading false news. The ANC and Cyril Ramaphosa seems to believe that nobody has access to the internet. And that is also why it's so important and why so many people are getting behind the United States and Donald Trump. Because they are calling out this nonsense by saying, here's the facts. have a look at it, and give feedback. But instead, Cyril Ramaphosa will go and make a bunch of bold statements without providing any shred of evidence for it, and we should just accept it. Even though statistics don't lie, they don't care about your feelings, and it's quite clear that South Africa is in a very dark place. And I would love to say that South Africa is in a great place, but I'm not going to lie to you. I want this country to be great, but unfortunately, under the ANC and under this GNU, that is simply not possible, especially if our president is just so comfortable at lying to the citizens of this country and to the international community. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, share this video far and wide. And if you enjoy my content and you enjoy this channel, then please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.